Now, coffee, sneakers, and a story, that's undefeated in the morning. Oh, wow, that's hot. Oh, I think I just burnt my tongue. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Blue. Welcome back to the channel. This is Kickin' Trips. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I got another fun one for you guys today. These are the Nike Air Zoom Spiridon Undefeated collab in the Phantom colorway. And did Undefeated just bring us the year's most underrated collab? That might actually be one of the most comfortable collabs we've seen so far this year, if not in a long time. Let's talk about it. The year is 2000. Hold on, don't go anywhere, hold up. I know, we don't always need a super long backstory behind every single sneaker, Adrian. I hear you guys. I can't help myself sometimes, man. I just love me a good story. But on these, I'll just sprinkle in a little bit of the history. I won't go that deep into it, guys. So in 2002, Undefeated. So in 2002, Undefeated was created and founded in Los Angeles, California by Eddie Cruz and James Bond, creating the now iconic 5-stroke logo that has a simple, non-flashy but powerful message as a tally mark, often used in sports and military and street culture to count victories as 5 completes the tally before you start another. And this is such a cool and simple design, as Undefeated has expanded to have shops all over the US and even expanded overseas. Now they have shops in Japan and in China. Now, as always, I'm gonna dive into all the details and get you guys some close-ups and some on feet. And of course, we'll sprinkle in a little bit more of that story on top. But before all that, click that subscribe and notification bell. It really does go a long way as far as helping the growth of the channel. So as always, appreciate that. And Undefeated has given us some iconic collabs over the years. Did you know that Undefeated was the first ever boutique to collab on an Air Jordan? Ever? The iconic Air Jordan 4 Undefeated collab released back in 2005 in super limited numbers, and later this year for the 20th anniversary, it's re-releasing. And if I'm able to get my hands on that release later this year, I'll dive more into that story then. But through the years, Undefeated has brought us some other iconic collaborations, including being the first boutique to ever collab with Kobe. And this was back in 2018 on Mamba Day. They released the first ever boutique collaboration with a Nike sneaker with Kobe Bryant when they brought us the Kobe Protro 1. And it's given us some amazing Kobe collabs since then, with one of my favorites being the Hall of Fame Kobe Protro 5s. And with these, Nike and Undefeated, they went back in the vault to bring us a 1997 original release of the Air Zoom Spiridon. Now, this was a sneaker that released in 1997 and was actually designed by Christian Tresser, who also brought us the iconic Air Max 97. Now, I'm not gonna bore you with 80s history on the Spiridon running shoe, but what I will say is that when they brought this sneaker back in 1997, it was the first of its kind to use Air Zoom technology and also mesh paneling. Now, Nike and Travis, they did collab early this year on a release that was part Spiridon, and that was these with the Travis Scott Field Jaxx. Now these, I was able to snag these up because I waited until the hype faded. So I think I waited like 2 months after the prices started coming down really close to retail. I snagged them up, got them in hand. Shout out to everyone that has a little bit of patience. Sometimes you can get a good price on these, but once I got them in hand, I wasn't that into them, and I think it had a lot to do with the laces though, because these came with some like really dark tan laces and some chocolate laces. I ripped those out. I found some cream laces left over from one of my other sneakers. I threw them on here, and I really thought that these cream laces just hit so much better with this overall color scheme and color blocking. So I did start to like these a lot better once I did the lace swap. And the reason I brought up earlier that these were part Spiridon is because what Travis and Nike did on these was they used the Air Zoom Spiridon lower, but the upper is actually cut from an old 70s or 80s running shoe, which I know it was called the Shark, but I don't remember if it was called the Land Shark or just called the Shark, but it was an old running shoe. I'll drop a photo somewhere around here for you guys. So when I saw that we were getting another Spiridon release, but this time with the Undefeated touch, I jumped on their site raffle and hit on a pair. Took a while to get them in because, UPS, but got them in hand, and I cannot wait to jump into the details on these with you guys. Starting with the box, and if you're like me and you appreciate a good box with some Easter eggs, they gave us one here. We get marathon racing bibs with bib numbers throughout the box that represent key moments. The top Undefeated bib numbers, 2002, represents the year that Undefeated was founded, with their 5 tally logo and 5K on the right, which is a typical marathon distance. The rear 1997 bib numbers are for when the Air Zoom Spiridon was first released, and the front has 1972 bib numbers, which is a deep cut from the year Nike released its first running shoe, the Nike Cortez. Inside we get blue lining with white paper with Air Zoom Undefeated tally logo and 5K throughout. Moving to the shoe, the upper toe box comes in a very soft black mesh netting with a reflective panel underneath, which makes this very breathable. The mudguard comes in this super soft to the touch, roughed up light gray suede that has a small dark gray embroidered swoosh, which is a really nice touch to the toe. A cream and tan reflective strip connects the uppers and the lowers, and another similar tan reflective strip leads up around the lace panel with desert tan reflective eyelets and olive colored ballistic nylon tongue that has an embroidered Nike swoosh on one side of the tongue and Undefeated tally on the other. Now these came with black round laces, but I really like these cream laces that had the black pattern on them, so I stuck with these, but I always love having lace options and really appreciate when they gave us 2 here. Inside we get black lining that comes in a Kevlar pattern with a ballistic nylon insole with Undefeated logo in one and Air Zoom in the other insole. Moving to the side panel, the black mesh netting continues from the toe, and you can see the reflective lace paneling underneath the mesh. We get a black patent leather swoosh with a thick embroidered outline outer edge. More of that soft hairy gray suede running across the lower side panel with those same reflective strips running across. Wrapping around the rear, we get a blue Undefeated nylon tag that has their tally logo underneath. The pull tab comes in a black nylon with a reflective strip running down the middle that has the abbreviated Undefeated and Spiridon branding, leading into the heel that has Air etched to the back. Speaking of that midsole, this whole shoe sits on a thick cream Air Zoom midsole with a classic wavy design that just makes this a really soft ride. But underneath is the coolest part, with a black and cream outsole that has Undefeated branding at the heel that almost looks like this might not be comfortable, as they kind of look like cleats, but they're perfectly placed pressure points for running and walking that make this shoe an amazing ride. And I wanted to compare these to the Travis Scott Field Jaxx that I talked about earlier. And while I normally love Travis Scott collabs, I can easily say that the Undefeated version on the Spiridon definitely won me over with how they put all these amazing materials together and put a really cool, clean color scheme together as well. So what do you get when Nike and Undefeated open up the vault to bring us back a 90s classic and fan favorite, giving us that undefeated touch we've come to love? With top-notch materials that upgrade the overall look and feel? We get that happy feeling of walking on clouds, comfort all day long. All right guys, that is it for me. As always, feel free to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you like where we're going with the content on the channel. It really does go a long way as far as helping the growth of the channel. So as always, appreciate that. And let me know what you guys think. Did you guys end up going for these? Was this a pass for you guys? Did you guys even know these were coming out? Because let me tell you, the original release was on Undefeated, and I think they sold out within maybe about an hour and a half. They kind of sat there. And also, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys end up going for these Travis Scott Field Jaxx? Were these a pass for you guys? I think that the lace swap definitely made me like them a little bit better, but I think at the end of the day, I'm just gonna make these what they were supposed to be, which is just some gym trainers or some everyday running around stuff. But these, when I go on long trips, these are the ones I'm gonna be packing because I wanted something that was casual, breathable, and still really good looking that will go with a lot of different outfits. And I think Undefeated gave us exactly that with these. And even though I got these for a really good price, I think this was just an impulse buy for me. The price was so close to retail that I jumped on them. And yeah, I'm gonna try to make these some beaters or, you know, train in them, but at the end of the day, I think this was just a mistake. But like a wise man once said, there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. So let's apply that to the sneaker game. So if you wanna add another great quality Undefeated collab to the collection, get them. Maybe you're like me and you're looking to get your first ever Undefeated collection, and these tally up all the things you want between style, comfort, and materials. Buy them. But more important than anything, guys, you already know, wear them. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.